Hey everyone, it's Kevin. And if you've been watching my videos consistently, say for the past year or so, you can tell, and you guys have noticed, the lighting's getting better, the sound quality is getting better, cinematography is getting better, everything's getting better overall. So this is all because of a lot of trial and error that I've had to go through over the past 2.5 years since I ever started making videos for YouTube. And not only have I done YouTube videos, I've also done advertisements for other people, for my own projects. I've also done family photos, family videos, so I've gone through a lot of trial and error during this process, and I picked up a thing or two. Though there are some things that were so easy to find out, so easy and such a simple fix, that I just wish that someone would have told me that the day I started. So here I am for you guys, telling you 5 things that I wish I learned way sooner when it comes to filmmaking. So let's get into the video. So before we begin, I just want to quickly thank today's sponsor for the video, which is Wondershare PDF Element. And if you're like me and you have a lot of textbook files or PDFs on your computer, like journals that you need to annotate, this is really helpful because you can completely come here and click markup and kind of highlight different things that may be interesting to you, or even come and put some sticky notes onto your work so you can have some notes, and which you can all check out later and they won't even be in your face anymore. And this really helps with PDF files like textbooks and journal articles. So something else I like about the software is that you can convert your PDF documents into Word documents. So if you have like a contract or something that you need to edit, you can quickly go at it and convert it into a Word document that you can quickly view and edit to your own liking. So guys, check the software out. It's super cool and it's in the description. All right. Okay, so first things first, the first thing that I want to mention to you guys, which is the single most important thing, and the last one's going to be equally as important, is the camera. And not the camera, but the camera lens. So I always thought that you have to get the most expensive camera in the game to be able to take these nice photos that you see on TV, National Geographic. Well, that's partly true, but just as important as the camera, if not more important in my personal experience, is the camera lens. So I didn't know what kind of lens to get. In fact, when I bought my camera, which is a mid-range entry DSLR by Nikon, the Nikon D5600, and I'm gonna put links to everything I own down in the description, my entire setup, I did not think that I was going to be able to take really nice photos, because this was a mid-range entry DSLR for, say, $500, and there were DSLRs that are $4,000 on the market. I didn't think I would be getting any nice shots like I could today. But what I had to learn the hard way by buying a lot of crappy lenses is that the lens almost matters more than the camera itself. And what really matters in terms of the effect that I wanted to get personally was I wanted to get a blurry background. And this almost all falls into this one characteristic about your camera lens called the aperture. And you'll see this when you're buying a camera lens. It'll say f2.8, f1.4, f5.6, f3.6 to 5.6, for example. And you can definitely see this on any camera purchasing website, any camera lens website that you see. And what this means is basically how far the camera can open and how much light it can let into itself. So what you want to aim for if you want that blurry effect in the background is a really low aperture. So the camera lens that I'm using right now has an aperture of f1.4. So it has an f-stop of f1.4, and in terms of the range of f-stops and apertures that you can get, that is really on the lower end, which is why you can see a really blurry background behind me even though I'm 1.5 meters away from my wall. So that comes down all to the lens. Another benefit of having a really small f-stop is that your camera can let a lot of light in, which also means that it can shoot way better photos and videos in low light. I can take a smartphone out in midnight and try to get a picture of the moon. I can't get anything proper. I mean, you guys can try it yourselves, but with this camera you can get very nice dark images in the night, in the sky. And it all comes down to the aperture, because it can open itself out to let a lot of light in, which helps in those low light situations. So it's kind of a double benefit when it comes to the lens. But something you should also keep in mind is that generally as the f-stop gets smaller, a camera lens gets much more expensive. For example, a 50mm lens that's f1.8 will cost you around $150, but once you get down to f1.4, that'll cost you around $400. So you can see the price really grows exponentially from there. Okay, so next tip, once it gets down to your sound quality, something that I really had to learn was that DSLRs have the worst mic possible on the planet. It's just the most absolute horrendous sound quality you could possibly get. In fact, unless you want to invest a couple $1,000s into a really nice video camera, you're going to be having some really bad audio in your DSLR. So I took the logical step and I went on Amazon and I bought some microphones for my DSLR, but weird thing was that I would still get the worst sound quality even when I started using $100, $200 microphones for my DSLR. So this took me 2 months to figure out. The reason for this is that your camera's DSLR has a preamplifier built into it that is of terrible quality. And basically, if you're going to be using your camera and connecting a microphone, doesn't matter how good that microphone is, the sound quality you're going to get because of that preamplifier is going to be horrendous. So the solution to this that I had to figure out was that you got to go into your camera settings and turn the preamplifier down all the way. So doesn't that mean, Kevin, that you can't hear yourself anymore? That's true, you can't hear anything. So you gotta get a microphone, and there's not too many microphones that are cheap or on the store that do this. So you gotta get a microphone. The one I'm using right now is a Rode VideoMic Pro, and there's several microphones by Rode. I'm gonna link them down below. This one costs $200. The benefit of this is that on the microphone, there's a setting where you can go from 0 decibel gain to plus 20 decibel gain. And this is gonna make your microphone be able to pick up much more sound and in a much louder manner. So even if you're turning your preamplifier down on your camera, your microphone is turning the gain up so much that it's able to compensate for that. And the signal from your microphone is a million times more clean and clear than the signal from your preamplifier. So it's going to be able to offset the loss in volume that you're going to get from your preamplifier by the gain in volume you're going to get from the microphone. So this is a super weird trick. I rarely see people talking about this, but this is the reason that I'm able to get really crisp, clean sound quality for my videos today. Here's a sound quality test with my microphone gain turned all the way up and my camera's preamplifier turned all the way down. Here's the same test, only using my camera's microphone. Big difference. Alright, tip number 3 is going to come down to your background. Basically, what you do not want is a white background, some super boring background. Invest some time into the background for your videos that you're going to use. For example, I painted my wall black and I have some nice posters going on. Of course, I just started this. I need to do this much more to be able to invest in time, put some cool lights in there, put some LEDs in there, get some nice lighting going on, because not only is this going to make your face and your image just pop out that much more, it's also going to make your videos more enjoyable to watch. And the biggest benefit is that it's going to make it easier for you to just start filming, because you don't gotta go around your house to find that one corner that might look good or try to check the lighting in different places. You have a studio for making videos that is just prepared for you. You can just turn your camera on, point at you, get your face cleaned and washed up, and you're ready to shoot. So this is not only helpful with the videos, but it's a big time-saving measure as well. Okay, so tip number 4 is about lighting. So I'm from Canada, and here we have winter. So during the winter, the sunlight's just not as strong as it is during the summer. So I gotta figure out a way to get consistent lighting for my videos, whether it's summer, whether it's winter, whether it's day, whether it's night, right? Because some days you just come back home so late and you gotta get that video in, so you gotta be able to figure out a system to get consistent lighting. Now, to get this, I had to experiment a lot, and basically you need to get lights for your video. These might be, if you have really nice lights at your home, or if you have a really nice kitchen, that might be fine. For me, it wasn't. I had incandescent lights, which are yellow and have a really bad tint to them, and I needed to get some proper lights for my videos. So I got a ring light. I don't use it for, say, makeup or anything, but it's just a really nice light, handy to just be able to dim it and kind of control what kind of light I want and where I want it. I also got 2 box lights, which I actually got for a separate endeavor, not for video making at all, but I had these lying around. So I use these in kind of a 3-way formation, and there's a lot of different techniques for setting up your lights that you can look up online. Especially, it's always different in terms of what you want to do. So for these videos, I like to have one video light on my left and one video light on my right, and it just helps create a balanced look on my face. And I can also play with the dimming on them to get shadows where I want them, and a more sophisticated and mature look as well. So now with those 4 tips, we actually hit all the 4 bases that I was going to talk about. Now the 5th tip is actually not related to any base, but it's just a really cool tip that I figured out from a professional videographer that came to my workplace one day. So he told me that, Kevin, if you're going to be filming yourself or if you're going to be filming people, always make sure that you cut off the video at the middle of your limbs. So for example, if I go back here and I end the video here, I don't know what it is, but when I end it at an extremity like your elbow or at the beginning of your shoulder, it just looks so much weirder than if you're just cutting it off at the middle of your limb. That is just a more natural look, and I don't know what science is behind this, but I've trusted it, and it's just made my videos look more natural, better, and in a better kind of focus than ever before. So always do that. Make sure you're gonna cut the video off like at the bottom. Make sure it's not at your extremity like a shoulder or an elbow. Make sure it's in the middle of a limb, in the middle of your thigh. don't make it at your knee, because that just creates a really weird look in terms of the person looking at the picture. So weird tip, but it might help you guys in your videos, so try it out. And that's the 5 tips. Honestly, an extra tip that I'd say is probably to get some more batteries for your camera, so you don't have to be, you know, lounging around when your battery's charging, so you can just pop one in while the other one's charging and get more productivity in that way. But that's it. Honestly, just like the video, because when you like it, that helps other people find it more quickly. So like the video, subscribe, and watch out for the next video. So take care, guys.